Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the deck Durdle. So we're now into Tempest block. What I'm going to do, seeing as it's the first video of the next group, which is going to work our way through the different combinations of sealed pools in Tempest block, is I'm going to do a bit of chat about the block generally. There's an interesting diversion we're going to take. So to look at this, let's go over to MTG Wiki. Now, in here, this is their Tempest block summary page. The reason why I've started here is, in addition to just making it clear what the sets the block contained, so Tempest, Stronghold, Exodus, it was also referred to as the Wrath block, R-A-T-H, or the Wrath cycle, sorry. Wrath cycle. And the other thing, if you ever played Magic the Gathering online, was in 2015 on MTGO only. They released a remastered version of the block. So they took the whole block and produced like a best of 269 cards, which you could then draft. And so once I've gone through the block as a whole, doing all the different combinations, starting with 6 packs of Tempest, then 6 of Stronghold, then 6 of Exodus, and then all the different combinations thereof, ending up with 2 packs each of Tempest, Stronghold, Exodus. The final video will actually be a sealed pool of Tempest Remastered, because from what I remember when I played Tempest Remastered online, it was only available in draft, although I could be wrong, but I seem to remember just drafting it. So it's going to be interesting to do a sealed pool of that. So we've sort of pulled it out of chronological order, but it makes more sense to include that sealed pool build as part of the Tempest, the set of Tempest block videos. So what we're going to do is let's have a quick look at the first set in the block. So that's actually Tempest. And you can see here the themes, Flowstone, Lucids, Slivers was in the set, as was Spikes. And we had Buyback and Shadow, which is a very interesting keyword ability. In terms of cycles for this first set, we've got Circles of Protection, some hoses, a cycle of hoses, a cycle of Lucids, Medallions was in the set. Common slivers and uncommon slivers, so slivers were a big thing. A cycle of gold allied colour spells, so 2 colour spells. Slow lands in the allied colours, so they came into play tapped, and then they wouldn't untap during your next untap step, and we'll see if we have any of those. Then gold enemy coloured spells, again 2 colours. You can see a couple of these here are actually legends. They're not all legends, but 2 of them are. There is also a number of legends in the set generally. And then we've got this cycle of enemy coloured tap pain lands. So they come into play tapped. They will tap for colourless. But then if you want to tap for the 1 mana of any of the 2 enemy colours, it deals 1 damage to you. Mega Cycle was here, and then there were 4 theme decks, and the theme decks were 2 colour theme decks. So there was a white blue one, white red, blue black, and then a white green, and then of course a number of notable cards. Lotus Petal was in the set. So let's switch to the packs that I've actually opened here digitally. Again, just to show you there's no shenanigans, these are the packs I opened using my old friend mtgen.net. So we do have a Lotus Petal, We also petal. We also have a legend there. Oh, there's one of our tap pain lands. So we got see Tome, Pit Imp, Scorched Earth. And we have a second, so we have 2 Scorched Earths here. You can see there's a number of slivers as well. A Humility. Rottweiler was in here. So let's just quickly, before we go into the actual final pull where I've got this inside of Architect, I'm just going to sort this whole pull by rarity so it's a bit easier to see. So those are our rares. Interesting. Will we have enough cards to get pulled towards mono black, we ask ourselves. It's an interesting card. A rare. So we've got our, in terms of our rare slots, we've got blue-red fixing. This would be more at home in mono black with the 3 black there. I mean, you could do it in a 2-colour deck, but it does make things a bit tricky, although this is what, a 6 drop, so hopefully by then we'd have 3 swamps. Maybe we could do like black splashing some other colour. Draw 2 cards, then choose and discard a card for 5. Okay, Humility, yep. Got 2 Scorched Earths. Choose and discard X land cards. Destroy X target lands. Okay, and these are our uncommons. 2 Lobotomies in there. Obviously destroying lands was a thing. Yeah, some flexible protections here. Got Dismiss in the set. Counter target spell and draw a card off the back of that. Do we have many flyers? As you can see, there's sort of hosing is a thing, and cards that are dependent on other colours. Capsize we've got. Number of circle of protections. There's a shadow. Well, we will be playing that. Not looking that strong. So we've got Dark Banishing and Diabolic Edict. So I am tempted to play black for the removal. We seem to have more enchantments in black than really creatures. Going to see what we're like in terms of shadow creatures generally. That's a line you can go with this set if you have enough. Okay, so that's given us a pretty good idea. The other thing, probably more importantly, lands. So just change this up a bit. We're going to have a look at the lands first. This is the lands in the set. So you can see here, there's the forest. There were four pieces of artwork back in the good old days, and they used to do 4 pieces of artwork for the land, not like now. There's our islands, our mountains, plains, and finally some pretty nice looking swamps there. That's the right word for it. So here's the card pool. I've also, to try and speed things up, I've added in one each of the lands just in its own category called set land in here, which I can sort of move around a little bit as I need to, so that make life a little bit easier. So there's our Coldora Lake. So let's go through and just decide what we're going to keep. So hold on to this for the moment. We'll hold on to card draw, definitely the lotus petal. I'm going to put all these, I'm going to sideboard these circle of protections for the moment. Okay. Endless Scream, enchanted creature gets +X/+0. Enfeeblement, enchanted creature gets -2/-2. You play Flickering Ward, choose a colour. Enchanted creature gets protection from the chosen colour. Yep, sideboard that. Giant Strength. So anything like that, any hoses, I'm going to sideboard for the moment. Oh, pacifism within the set, of course. So obviously there's stuff going on between this and where's it gone? I have lost it. Yeah, there was a card there where it's... Oh, see it? Rats of Wrath. Okay. Yeah, we'll get rid of that for the moment. Unless we happen to be playing something that's relevant. Destroy all islands. Sideboard that. Capsize, counter spells in here. Dark Banishing, Diabolic Edict, Disenchant, we will sideboard. Dismiss, Imp's Taunt, it's got buyback 3. Yeah, I don't really want to play that. Kindle, whoops. Power Sinks in here. Shadow Rift and Twitch. So we already spoke about the artifacts. And we had a look at the enchantments. Oh, Tranquility's in here. We'll sideboard that. Scorch Earth. Destroy X land card. Okay. Rampant Growth in here. Needle Storm. Okay. Natural Spring. No, I don't really want to play Life Gain unless there's some synergy going on. How did you see it? Search that player's graveyard, hand library, or copies of the chosen card, remove them from the game. Okay, I'm going to sideboard that. Permanently exchange control of target artifact or creature for control of target permanent of the same type. Okay. Vika's Justice has buyback on it. So you may pay an additional 3 when you play this spell. If you do, put it into your hand instead of your graveyard as part of the spell's effect. Aftershock. Okay. So let's go down our creatures here. First draw. 1 and a white, first strike, target creature gains first strike until end of turn. So, 2/2 with flying. 3 and a white. Oh, now we have our slivers. We have a Pegasus for 1 and a white, 1/2 with flying. Canopy Spider. Clot Sliver. More flying. Two 1 for 3 with first strike. There's our legend. Darkling Stalker. Stealthy Slayer. Two for 2 and a white. Elite Javelinier, I think that is. Flowstone Giant. Flowstone Salamander. Heart Sliver. Heartwood Dyad. Allows you to block creatures with shadow. We've got a Lightning Elemental. So it's unaffected by summoning sickness. Manta Riders. There's a couple of slivers, more slivers, and Illicit. Okay, so we do have quite a few slivers. Let me... There's loads of different directions we could go here actually. But let's do the customary colour sort here. Followed by, let's get a feel for the high-end stuff. Okay, so we've got what if there's a red-black deck in here? That would be rather predictable, wouldn't it? Okay, let's try that. See what that looks like. I definitely want to be playing black. We've got pretty good removal, but we can do loads of combinations here. Red, black, blue, black, white, black probably work. I don't know how strong we are in green. There may or may not be a slivers deck in here. We'll see. Okay, so we will remove this to the maybe board for the moment. There's green stuff in here as well, like some usual green combat trick type stuff. Oops. Means to get rid of that as well. Maybe there's a red blue in here. In fact, red black might be just one of those decks that sort of builds itself, if you know what I mean. There might just be just enough cards in here. I'm unsure about this stuff. I am going to just take the artifact slivers out for the moment. Because sometimes, like, running just a couple of slivers in a in a non-sliver deck can be a bit problematic. Because otherwise you just end up with, well, 1/1s, but at the best you could end up with some, those plus whatever pump they have, or buffing with abilities. There's a couple of times when I think when I played the remastered version of this, where I did actually play some. I think there's like some slivers that in the set which are just playable in and of themselves, even if you don't get to buff them with other slivers. This could be rather a long video, by the way, because there's a lot of angles in this, and of course I'm not super familiar with the set. I mean, last time I would have really looked in seriously at any of these cards would have been 2015, as because of the remasters. Okay, so we'll just pop these over in the sideboard. I just put them here because then they're easy to grab when we need to bring in the land of that certain colour, rather than mess about over here. Okay, 33. So we need to get this down. So we actually have got quite a lot of stuff here to leverage. Do I want to be punishing myself? Probably not. Enfeeblement. And sadistic glee. So I'm just going to reduce those down to one-ofs until I decide as well whether I want to play any of the sadistic glees. There is an interaction between that and the Rats of Wrath, although I'd probably want to be doing something a bit more in the in that area. I'm going to take out that sliver. Okay, not looking so good here. Although that is, yeah, it's a 1/1/2 drop that can attack straight away because it's unaffected by summoning sickness. Okay. I'll take one of the Scorched Earth. And okay, so it's basically what, 2 damage for 2. And we've got an interaction here between Sadistically and the commander. Ilvek. Yeah, I'm going to take that out. Take that out. We're getting there. One more cut. Oh, we have another sliver. We're looking a bit weak on the creature front. Okay, let's have a quick look here. See what we can see. Boom. Okay. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let us bring in our lands first. And then we will go from there. That's how you do that. Now, where's my mountain? Okay. Boom. Right, let's check the stats. So we're counting this. Okay, that makes sense. Red 10, black 15. I think that's being caused by the presence of the lotus petal. And 15. So let's just look at doing the really obvious thing, which is 10 black and 7 red. Okay, so we do have a lot of double red here, but we got triple black. Let's live a little bit dangerously and see what this looks like when we do a play test. Okay. Hang on. How did that get in there? Let me just, maybe I made a mistake here. Something's gone wrong. Try again. Check in case it's doing something weird here. This is strange. Didn't like the fact that I've got those in their own designation. So I'll have to remember not to do that trick again because it seems to have come back to haunt me. Let me just have a quick look and see if I can... No, it is in the sideboard. Maybe I've discovered a bug. Okay, we'll see what happens. I think we'll be all right. So we got 4 mountains, no swamps. We got a pit imp and darkwind stalker and a scorched earth. Yarn strength. There's our commander Greven Elvec. So this is not looking good. And we're able to get stuff out actually. Saying that, but well, not until we actually managed to draw some. Yeah, we got no swamps at all. That's not good. Oh, that's why. Hang on, what? Something strange is going on here. Try again. I'm not sure what's happening there. This is very strange. That's better. Okay. Now we're good. I must have broken the program. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so that's pretty good. Got a turn 2 Doughty Slayer, which we can play on turn 2. We have the mana. Diffusion. Flowstone Giant. Swamp. Flowstone Salamander. I must admit, this deck isn't particularly exciting. and you're getting this sort of lotus petal in our hand. I mean, this deck is playable, but very slow. Yeah, I'm not keen on that build. What have we got? I don't really know how strong our black actually really is. The trouble is I've been a bit drawn by the removal, which is splashable. Okay, let's take this out. Let's have a rethink here. Best way to attack this. So, what's really making me want to play red? Not much. We're leaving the dark banishing and the diabolic edict. Yeah, let's take out all of this and completely rethink our strategy here. Okay. Okay, so now we've got this where we've got our removal. Let's just see what a sliver deck might look like, because that's a good starting point. And then what we can do is we can also add additional support cards that are on colour, because we're probably going to end up with a 5-colour deck, possibly. There's our metallic sliver. Slivers all the way. Our winged sliver. Interesting. Oh yeah, there's muscle sliver in here. Cool. if we're playing multicolour, then we probably want that Caldera Lake in. There's an armour sliver. So far we have 12 creatures. And we're in black, blue. Oh, we're in 5 colour. That's funny. Okay. This is going to be interesting. So 5 colour crap. No, 5 colour slivers. So I need to get my creature count up. There's a number of sort of classic pump spells I could play in here. There's also, I don't know if I like the idea of a, what's power? I don't remember power sync does. Okay, we might want to put that in. Shadow Rift. Okay, got to put that in, seeing as we're playing green anyway. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be 5 colour slivers and good stuff. Yeah, that'll work fine. We're not in Magical Christmas Land at all. It'll be okay. Do we want to go? Oh, that I just missed a sliver. I'm just thinking, do I want to go like sliver shadow deck? I suppose. Let's do that. Why not? Yeah, let's have some fun. Some unblockable stuff. I'm just going to check and see. Let's 2-1 with shadow. Let's one for it. Yeah, let's do that. See if that works. Do I have a high-end flyer here? Do that, bit of evasion. This is going to be a bit of a car crash deck, I think. Got my rampant growth there. 22. Okay, so we will stick in a rampant growth. And where's the pacifism gone? Or did I already bring that across by mistake? Did I put that? Yeah, that accidentally went in the wrong thing. Yeah, that's good. So that's now in the right thing with 22. So let's bring across our hold on, Basic land card. Yep, that'll be good in the deck, I think. Oh dear. So a bit of removal. I've got the lotus petal. I keep saying pedal. Lotus petal. Okay, some sort of card filtering shenanigans. Let me. I think I'm going to have to. Yeah, I think this needs to go down to 22. Just the amount of colours I'm playing. So this is going to be tricky. So we got all three colours. 2 drops, yeah, okay, that's good to know. So what do we do? Right, so we need to play 18 lands, and we've got 3 colours. I'm going to call the other 2 splashes. I suppose that's one way to look at it. So 3 colours splashing 2. Okay, so if I did this is taking one hell of a gamble. 5, 15. So 5, 2, 1. Wonder what the hell that looks like. Okay. Yep. 5, 2, 1. Is that going to work? Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out. Okay. Maybe each of these. Oh, no, island was the potential one of. Mountain. Was that the 2 of? And then 5 planes. And where's my other? And 5 forests. Now I could. I don't know if I want to include a another land. Really, no. look at the stats again. Okay, we're pretty close. It's taking into account the stuff that's already in there. So. Okay, fixing. Hopefully this will go right. We won't end up like last time. What? Hold on. There's something very strange going on here. This seems to be rather buggy today. Sorry about this. This is rather annoying. I don't think I'll be doing this again where I add the lands before. It obviously messes something up. And I can't quite work out what at the moment. Let's try again. That's better. Okay. Oh well, so turn 2 pacifism, turn 2 heart sliver, banishing, turn 3, and we have a lotus petal. Well, that's not bad. We've got our plains, we have our forest, we don't have the other mana at the moment. We have a diabolic edict, so we have no black. Well, I suppose it depends on how we leverage our lotus petal. Lotus petal. Forest, armor sliver, wing sliver, swamp. Yeah, we may have a magical Christmas land deck here, unfortunately. Plains, a swamp. Okay, so as long as we get some more land by turn 3. Oh, we have a metallic sliver. Yeah, this is the perils of playing 5 colours. Now that's not too bad. So this isn't too shabby. It looks fairly promising, just looking at these sample hands. Okay, there's our perfect drawing set, pretty much perfect. We don't have any green sources, and it's yeah. Okay, that's funny. Let's just have a look. Well, we got plenty of land. Okay, so that was actually a quite interesting hand. Yeah, I mean, it's cool because of the interactions you're going to get here between the slivers. We're seeing quite a few slivers going on here. Okay, back to the deck. So let us, what to try next? Let me bring... See, the weird thing about this pool of cards is that we're pretty strong in terms of like support cards, but our creatures are not fantastic. I mean, we've got... I'm trying to work out if there's like some sort of blue-white shadows deck here. It might be. I mean, do we go blue, white, splashing black for the removal? Might be a thing. Just going to remove... Oh, he's still in there. Let's see what that looks like. Then the trouble is it's double black, so we're not really splashing that. Well, what if we did 3 colour? Let's have a quick look. I'm trying to work out if there's like a green, red-green deck in here. There might well be. I'm just going to leave those slivers in for the moment till I decide what I need. Yeah, this is, I must admit, this is a particularly difficult pool. We got, I suppose there's a lot of mediocre cards here. And some of the better cards are tricky to play in multiple colours. And I think that was just generally something I noticed with the set. You know, one thing you needed was good fixing if you wanted to go down some of the more, like the sliver route. Otherwise, everything was like really slow. And I seem to remember even when I played Tempest Remastered, it wasn't a particularly fast format, if my memory serves me correctly. But, you know, the good thing is as I build more of these with the different variations of the sets in the block, I get more familiar with the set. And now, I mean, better to see sort of angles and lines of build here. At the moment, I must admit, I am struggling a lot to get this to really gel. I don't even know if there's a... Is there even a blue-white deck in here? Yeah, this is pretty grim. It's difficult, isn't it, when you've got just so much stuff all over the place. I don't think there is. That's the trouble. I don't think I've really got like strong enough creatures. So far what have we done? We've done a black-red build, which was playable. It's a bit slow. We had the 5 colour slivers, which looked fun, but was slow. And I'm desperately trying to see if we've got some sort of blue-white evasion deck. Might be something in there that can do that. I'm not holding out a lot of hope. I mean, what do we got? Have we got any creatures here? I suppose we have. Oh, what the hell? Put a counter spell in. Oh, wrong place. My mistake. Yeah, we see we've got some pretty strong blue spells. There's no creatures. So I'm just trying to get my removal lined up. Let's put that in there. So I need 4 more. Yeah, so let me get my flyers together here. So I'll have that. It's already in the deck. Yeah, let's stick this in. What else we got here? Sorry, foot soldier. So blue, white, black. Yeah. Okay. And we'll clean this up in a moment. Right. So 25. Okay, because we've got the land in here. So we've still got a few more I can get in. That's good. So two more here to bring the actual this bit up to 23. So I'm just looking to see whether we've got any other shadow creatures in black. Oh, I forgot my diabolic edict. Capsize index. In you go, capsize. Now, the other thing here is, have I got any slivers that don't really work here? I'm just going to take that out. Decisions. One would do with flying. Getting pretty desperate. Okay, I won't mess about much longer. Let's do. I don't know. Oh, I know why it's doing that. It's because of the lotus petal. Okay, white, blue, black. So it's 665, maybe. Okay. 665. Hopefully this doesn't do anything weird again. What I'll do is I just go in, go back, make sure the deck transfers across. Yep, did it right this time. That was really strange. Okay. So, turn one solitary foot soldier with we've got plains. Alright, so with 2 islands and a plains. Okay. This is looking interesting. already. So this might be slightly more consistent. My main problem is some of these. So now I've run into problems here because I have no white sources until now. That's a good opening hand. We've got one each of the manas, manic and pacifism for a turn 2. So yeah, this isn't. I mean, again, it's going to be a little bit slow. I don't quite know what my finisher is. That's the trouble in this deck. It looks like it's going to be rather drawn out. Because if I look at the deck, let's just go back. So in terms of playing stuff, this is probably the best one. But I don't think there's anything really. What's my top end look like? Oh dear, not good. It's a 2/2 for 4. Well, yeah. So basically my finishers are 2/2 flyers, which is never good. So yeah, that was a pretty tough build. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this and it hasn't been too painful. I think it's always the same when I do the first video of a set. It's getting myself reacquainted with the set that's the hardest bit. I suppose if I spent a week going through this, but that's not really the purpose of the exercise. Really here is to try and, revisit sets which I've not touched either ever or for a very, very long time. And like I said, the last time I probably messed about with the cards in this set, apart from just, constructed building, but in terms of sealed, would have been that Tempest remastered, which would have been 2015, whenever it was, which is quite a long time ago. But hopefully that gives you a good, just a sort of a view of the set. You can see we had, a shadow in it. Slivers were a thing, but if you wanted to do that in a sealed pool, then you've got to try and build like a 5 color deck really to pull anything off with any degree. There's a few slithers you can play on their own, but generally they're better, when they're together, obviously, because everything gets compounded. There's good removal in the set. I mean, you've got Dark Banishing, Diabolic Edict, lots of good blue spells, Capsize. Buyback really helped in the set because it meant, okay, for the higher cost, but you got to repeat the spell if you had a lot of mana. We have a few flyers, but nothing over the top. As I've said, I think at the start of the video, there was quite a few legends in the set, and we certainly saw one of those here. But again, with these sort of cards, they work better in a constructed environment. It's where you might pull this as part of a sealed pool and then think, I'll build a deck around that at a later stage. If you go through like sort of EDH Rec, you'll see there's quite a lot of EDH stuff in here that turns up in a variety of different decks. The cycle of lands, the land fixing is not particularly strong across all the sets, but if that's all you had available, if you're doing a sealed pool, then basically that's what you got to live with. We pulled 1 in this. As you saw, there's quite a bit of colour hosing going on as well. So I seem to remember when I played draft for this. With drafting, this sort of set's a lot nicer because you get to sculpt the deck better. So I think definitely the drafting experience in earlier sets tends to be better than the sealed experience because you're crafting your deck a lot better as you go along. So you can pick, if you wanted to do, say, a slivers build, that would be a better thing, or shadow or whatever. So that there is quite a big contrast with this sort of stuff between the experience of the sealed and the experience of the draft on here. Nice artwork on the lands, and lots of land hate in here, as you can see, or land destruction, both trying to leverage it and also doing it against your opponents. I don't know if there's some interesting utility on the artifacts in here as well. You might have noticed. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it wasn't too grindy, as my experience of, I think, playing Tempest Remastered was. I do remember when I played it online, it being quite a pretty grindy format, even with the fact that you had the best cards from the whole pool. Still grindy games. But then sometimes that's what people really like. Games that go longer, they can often be more fun, and you get to play the cards that you wanted to play. If you've got super fast format, like something like, say Zendikar, and your deck isn't up to speed or can't deal with fast decks, then it's a bit of a disappointing experience if 3 games go by in a matter of minutes. Whereas sometimes in a grindy set, it's nice because the games sort of stretch out and you get maybe to play some of your pet cards. So that's it really. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.